Texas has taken a controversial approach to banning abortions once cardiac activity is detected, with a law that allows citizens to sue anyone involved with the practice, including someone who gives a woman a ride to the doctor who performs the procedure. But what does that mean for other states, including right here in Illinois? Amanda Vinicky joins us now with some answers. Amanda.
Yeah, Paris, that Texas law went into effect last week after a split U.S. Supreme Court rejected a challenge to it, citing legal complexities. And as you can imagine, that law sparks divergent opinions. Illinois Right to Life Director Amy Gerke calls it a tremendous victory.
We are thrilled about the Texas law, as you can imagine. We know that this law will save over 300 babies a year in Texas. We know that this is a protective pro-life law that not only protects unborn children, but it protects their mothers from a very predatory abortion industry as well.
And here, State Representative Anna Moeller, she's sponsor of a measure that would essentially expand access to abortions in Illinois.
The Texas law shows us the full picture of a truly radical attack on reproductive rights, authorizing anti-abortion activists to essentially seek out a bounty on women trying to access the health care that they need, and those who are trying to assist them.
And so divergent opinions there, but there are several points on which advocates from both sides do agree. For one, that this case is a signal portending the potential gutting of Roe versus Wade, which since 1973 has protected a woman's right to have an abortion in the United States. Now, the nation's high court will this fall consider the Dobbs case that's challenging a Mississippi law that bans abortions before a fetus is viable. Now, if that happens, both sides also agree it won't have a direct impact in Illinois due to a law that anticipates the possibility of no more Roe v. Wade.
If Roe v. Wade goes away, maybe we should start to be honest and say when Roe v. Wade goes away, it's put back to each state to make its decision about whether to allow abortion in their state. And so what we have in Illinois is the Reproductive Health Act that makes sure a patient can get a safe and legal abortion in our state.
Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Reproductive Health Act in 2019 that enshrines the right, as you just heard, to abortions, also to birth control in Illinois, as well as taking out references to abortions from Illinois' criminal code. It also requires insurers to cover abortions here. But there is still a statute on Illinois' books that both anti-abortion and abortion rights activists alike are watching closely, and that is Illinois' parental notification law that requires providers to contact a parent if anyone 17 or younger seeks an abortion. Now, Gerke says that her main goal this coming legislative session is preserving what she calls Illinois' last remaining pro-life law.
This has been couched as an abortion bill, and on its face it looks that way, but this bill is really about protecting parents' rights to be involved in the healthcare decisions of their minor daughters, and also to protect minor girls from human traffickers, sex predators.
She says in that regard that those in the sex trade, not good if they get pregnant and are often coerced into having abortions. And the parental notification law, she points out, does not require parental consent, merely that they are given a heads up. Representative Moeller, meanwhile, says this notification requirement can put minors in danger. It is her priority, as well as that of other abortion rights advocates, to get it repealed in the coming legislative session.
There are young women in our state, and there will be young women coming to Illinois seeking, constitutionally protected access to health care, who don't have relationships or healthy relationships with the adults that are listed in the Parental Notification Act that are required for notification, and are fearful of having these adults being notified by a doctor about this care, and it's putting them in harm's way.
She says it's the only procedure during pregnancy that requires notification. She says a young woman could potentially have dangerous procedures throughout pregnancy without any parental involvement. Now, Mueller did introduce a similar measure last year, and abortion not a strictly partisan issue, but it is worth pointing out that despite Democratic supermajorities in both chambers of the General Assembly, that measure did not advance. She is, however, hopeful that it will this coming session. Legislators potentially galvanized by that Texas law, especially as Planned Parenthood's President Welch suspects other states may soon copycat.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a race to the bottom for some of our surrounding states to see which of them can pass a similar law the quickest. I've heard that Kentucky is having a special session because they want to hurry up and pass a similar law, but they might get beat by Missouri, who's still in session. And so they've got that law, automatically on the books.
Welch says it's important for women to know, no matter what is happening there in Texas, abortions are still legal and accessible in Illinois. That Illinois does welcome those from states with more severe restrictions on abortions to have the procedure here is chief among the concerns for Illinois right to life. Now, a quick mention of a new law that is, tangentially related to this. This was signed by Governor Pritzker in July. It makes birth control available without a prescription so that come January, pharmacists can dispense hormonal birth control without a doctor's order. And back to you, Paris.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much.